a best build for Vorazun. One of the most important things you can do is the 51 extra initial and maximum Sphere of Dune energy. This gets you 2 Dark Pylons, which really helps to finish the rest of the build off and get you the minerals you need. I best put the rest in Chrono Boost, and then these are kind of up to you. I still find the time stop unit speed increase is the best, and then Dark Pylon range usually is more than enough. You don't really need the Black Hole Duration because mostly you kill everything in the original Black Hole Duration anyways. So not too much to worry about there. I'm actually going to show this on Rifts to Core Hall, and we'll get right into it. Hopefully find a partner too soon, but again, this has very little to do with your partner. The Dark Templar are basically going to be there for every single mission. I think there's 1 or 2 where they're not there in time, but you'll always have something to deal with it. This is also a great mission for Vorazun. I do like to go DT Corsair, so that's one of my favorite ways to do a Vorazun build. Really awesome. So a couple things that I go into is I always make sure to get my DTs out first unless I know I'm going up against an air build. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, I'll always go DTs first. So you do have the ability to spawn your DTs in the middle and then send 2 to each base, 2 to each expo, or you can just spawn them in your own base, and then if you micro them well enough, you can get to your partner's expo if you want. It does get your expo up a little faster doing it that way, but not absolutely necessary. But anyways, right off the bat, I'm going to make sure I start all of my pro production, and then I'm going to immediately do a Dark Pylon. So that way I'm not spending any money on pylons, and I can get my gases out as soon as possible. Go right into it, making sure you stay on top of all your pro production. At this point, I'm just going to wait for the gas in order to make a gateway. I think it's going to be around 17 supply, which you can make, and you can get it done. And this way you just stay right on top of your tech from this point on. You're waiting to take your expo to when you have the Shadow Guard. I'm going to go and use my second pylon over here. I usually immediately will put one of your Dark Pylons on its own control group, and that will allow you to basically warp back to your base at any point if you need it. Get another gateway. And then basically I'm waiting for this to finish so I can get my Cybernetic Core. Some people like to get a forge here, but I usually get that after I get a lot of my tech going.
The enemy is en route to our base. Nerazim, ignite your blades.
Again, I'm going to continue to make all the probes I can possibly make. I'm going to have to kill a little time until this comes out.
Got some hostile Terrans out here.
And I will put these guys here. Make sure I get that. I'll drop these here. I'm gonna get my gas first. Go and get my Nexus after that. You have 300 APM and you're in bronze too? How is that possible? Now we got that done. And I'll make sure I get another pylon. Again, I'm keeping everything rallied over here. And I'm really just waiting for my Dark Shrine here in order to get all of my Dark Templar out. It's usually the first unit I make. It's probably going to be mech, and it's probably going to be ground mech, so I
Avoid
can
sharks
really
been
focus a
reported
lot
outside of
on.
your landing point, so that's your first objective. Best of luck out there.
I can focus pretty heavily on just ground units, but I will get upgrades for my air units, and I will
You
make
best
air
get
units.
ready. The enemy's headed for our base.
Doing the happy dance, doing the happy dance.
Thanks so much, Zipper Zip. I appreciate the follow. But this is basically your way to get out DTs as fast as possible. Right now, I can start working on a Stargate. I'm going to wait until I get another round of Dark Templar, and then I'll build one Stargate. If you can, if you do have the ability to not worry about making, not really needing to worry about getting into air units right away, you can wait a little bit. But at this point, I'm going to start building up my infrastructure for flying units, as it is very important to get those out.
Sure blows up pretty, doesn't it? The
You just
enemy
like to
will
get a
summon
forward
more
pylon,
staff, guaranteed.
and
Numerous
just staying on
enemy
top
sharks
of all your
detected.
production,
We need to destroy
making
them
sure you get
ASAP.
blink, all those different things that are really helpful.
Our allies are engaged in battle.
I have a time stop. You know, honestly, it's always better to kind of use it right away. I will wait just a minute, though, because I don't want to make my partner feel like I'm rushing too much. But it is pretty important to get those going right away. And then I always rally all of my new Corsairs to the dark pylon I have out on the field. So that way I always have a nice forward
We
location
have not enough Vespene.
that they're cloaked until they get the upgrades to make them cloaked forever. But like I said, it's very important to get your upgrades for your air units. Otherwise,
It is a good day, Sutsai.
the Corsairs don't really do as much damage as you'd like
More
them to.
Vespene is required.
May I be of service? From the shadows I come.
Now I need to start getting my upgrades. I usually start off with Cloak first,
I'm detecting an enemy attack. They're heading towards us now.
but I'm building up a little bit of extra gap minerals here, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to get my forge going. I've got blink, I've got everything I need. They're going to come to my base, so I'm just going to go and do this. Making sure I stay on top of all of my air upgrades, that's really important. Alright, I'm going to go in TS. Time to stop for this.
I am disrupting time now. Be ready to attack.
More Vespene.
Calling down the hot carrier. It'll take more than a few void shards to defeat the Dominion.
To oblivion.
Our allies are engaged in battle. Finished.
Let's get the
No
other
rest for the
upgrade.
righteous. Looks like we've got another set of void
At this
shards
point,
to
I really
deal
just
with.
have a bunch of extra minerals, so I can just spend it on pretty much anything I want. Usually I'm spending on cannons. And make sure that I move the rally point up. Continue to get all the upgrades I could possibly need. Making sure I stay on top of Corsairs for a little while. Corsairs are really important. So this is about the time when I start having a little bit more. I'm actually going to turn off the disruption web so that I have the ability to manually cast it where I need to. All my new ones I will leave the auto cast on, and that will give me the ability to have some automatic ones that I don't have to worry about, and then have a couple that are manually cast that if I, because like sometimes if you don't turn it off, they all actually will spam on the very first unit they see. See, like right now I can spam a couple of these and not have to worry about anything getting out.
It is a good day.
We require more Vespene.
Making sure I keep all of my,
Scum ransacks the city at
I
a
go ahead
time
and
like
grab
this.
this over here.
I know it's a personal request, but if you can, Please kill them all.
To the horizon. Jokov.
We have not enough Vespine.
It is a good day to die.
Shadow Guard available.
I thought you'd see my stand ready. The skies.
We require more Vespine gas.
Torridas. It is a good day to die. Honor through valor. Let us attack. I stand ready.
Time stop.
Time stop in just a minute.
More Vespine is required.
From the shadows I come. It is a good day to die. I stand ready. Honor.
That's the thing about the Dominion. Even in a
Okay.
crisis,
Staying on
our
top
rule
of all my
law holds
my production.
Our allies are engaged in battle.
Temple anomaly established. Strike now, warrior.
We got enemy forces inbound on our base.
Good day to die.
Alright, so I got this ready to go. Keeping in mind that I also can spam this whenever I need to, making sure that no unit can actually do what it needs to do. Alright, go ahead and move over here now. So now I've got all of my upgrades. I usually would set it on the Corsairs to get extra production, but I feel like I've got enough Corsairs at the moment that I don't need to make more of them, so I'm going to spend all of my extra...
That must be placed within the power field.
all of my extra Chronos on my gateways.
Void shard eliminated. Keep it up.
Almost too easy.
We require more Vespine gas. That we can place from the shadows.
They keep summoning shards, and we keep.
And now it's just a matter of continuing to stay on top of everything.
Well, that makes one
So you
less
really
to
only
deal
have enough
with.
gas for 2 starports and
One group
3
of shards
gateways.
left.
So
Crush
at this
them in
point,
the
like I
dust
said, I only
and
make
end this
2
fight.
and 3. If you are not the best at microwing all of that,
Insufficient minerals.
if you're not the best at microwing your macro,
We cannot
then
wait.
feel free to make more gateways or more starports, depending on which ones you'd like to see more of. But you really don't have the gas to do much else and get upgrades. Now that I've finished upgrades, I could get a little bit more, but I'll just leave it at
They
this,
don't
just
look
so
too
that you
friendly.
can pretty much do everything you need with just the 5 production
From the
facilities.
shadows I come. It is a good day to die.
Our allies are engaged in battle.
Alright, I'm going to go deal with this over here.
By the void. May I be
I'll make sure I turn it all off for all of them, and then turn it on for just a few of them.
Time stop online.
I bask in the twilight.
Because having too many, again, they all just spam it on the same target, and that really doesn't help.
It is a good
I think
day.
I'll call down the Hyperion.
I stand
Alright, so I will pull back over
Insufficient
here.
energy.
I'm going to go get all of my Corsairs healed.
These pirates just don't learn, do they? Commanders, it's time to educate them.
I shall be
go and get healed real quick. And this is not something you're necessarily
Our
always
allies
going to
are
have.
engaged in battle. More Vespene is required.
It is a good
From the shadows,
Now that I'm all healed, I'll go back over here and deal with this. Like I said, you don't really need much more than the couple production facilities that I have. I'm going to have a time stop for the next push, but I will wait until I finish up the bottom part, and then I'll time stop to get a push up to the top.
It is a good
Piracy in the skies above Core Hall? Not on my watch.
we have not enough Vespene. From the shadows, I come. By the void.
I can clear all this myself.
The enemy's attack will be upon us soon. Activating time stop. Attack when you are ready.
Neutralized another void shard. Well done.
A worthy outcome.
Our base is under siege. Our allies are engaged in battle.
And that's pretty much the end of the mission here.
Excellent work, commanders. That void shard is toast.
We got it. That one's down for the count.
So other things that you could get is the void,
You hear that,
the
Amon?
stasis void, the
Dominion
stasis
is
cell,
not
I think
so
is what it's
easily
called.
defeated.
And then automatically takes turrets and stuff like that and automatically puts them in the stasis ward. That actually helps if you want to get that. I didn't really get it this time because I was more worried about focusing on my disruption web, but not something at this point you really can get. Other than that, you don't really need to worry about too much else. You can see that even though he wasn't Rainer, I actually did a little bit more damage, and I actually mined even more. I don't know how that happened, mostly because I went straight into economy. Anyways, please feel free to leave any comments or suggestions in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. Hunter AFI.